is Melany Martinez, and this is my presentation on the evolution of the human brain and language. This topic that I chose connects with biology, anthropology, and a bit of psychology. And I chose it because I've always been very interested in how people think, talk, and how they grow. And I'm also a psychology major, so I thought it'd be interesting to incorporate some psychology in it because I'm talking about the brain, of course. Why study the evolution of the human brain and language? Well, the human brain is one of those, I'd say, one of the most complex things in nature, and language is also something that's very unique to humans, and it helps us communicate, express ourselves, and build relationships. And studying how the brain and language evolve together helps us understand what makes humans different from other species. And this topic also connects a little bit to psychology because language plays a big role in how we think and how we feel. The evolution of the human brain. Early humans had a smaller brain than we do today, and over millions of years, the brain grew, and especially in areas for problem solving and planning. And these changes helped humans learn how to make tools, live in big groups, and survive in harder or changing environments. And our larger brains are a big reason why we develop things like language and culture. How language began in humans. Language probably started with simple sounds, gestures, or body language. Of course, over time, humans created real speech and grammar, but it didn't happen very quickly, of course, and it's a process. But it helped us understand each other better, and that the brain had to grow and change to support the kind of communication we have today. The key brain areas for language. I might be butchering the pronunciation to these words, but the two more important brain areas for language are the Broca's area and the Wernicke's area. The Broca's area helps us speak clearly, and the Wernicke's area helps us understand words and meaning. These two areas work together to help us talk and listen, and if either one of them were to be damaged, a person could have a hard time speaking or understanding others, and that is what we call aphasia, which I might also be butchering as well. Hopefully you understand. The FOXP2 gene and language. The FOXP2 gene is important for speech and language. People with changes in this gene sometimes have trouble speaking. Humans have a version of FOXP2 that other animals do not have. And Neanderthals, they also had this gene, so they might have been able to speak to each other. This gene is one of the pieces of evidence that language has a biological base, and I explained earlier, but the brain grew over time. So Neanderthals could have been able to communicate to each other, but of course, definitely not nearly as much as we can now. Yeah. How language helped us survive. Language helped humans live and work together, and they could plan things like hunting. They could warn each other about danger, and they were even teaching language to their children, and that made it a lot easier to build stronger communities and pass down that knowledge. And of course, without language, it would have been definitely harder to survive and to grow as a species. Where did language even come from? Well, no one exactly knows how language started, but there are some ideas and theories. Some of those are, one theory is that language started with hand signals, like gestures. Another one is that it started with sounds. Sounds that definitely became more complex over time. there's also the social brain theory, which is that we need language to live in larger groups and understand each other. And all these theories explain how language could have started, and I think they make a lot of sense and they're pretty logical, I'd say. How social life shaped our brains. Um, Living in groups made communication really important. Early humans needed to share food and help each other and solve problems together. And the more social humans became, the more their brains had to grow, and language and the brain kind of evolved together. Um, each one helped the other grow more, and they had to grow together. How language connects to psychology. Language isn't just about talking, it's how we express our thoughts, feelings, and even identity in psychology. In psychology, language connects to memory, learning, and emotions, and it also affects relationships and mental health. And understanding how language evolved helps us understand human behavior too. Can animals talk like us? I included a picture of Coco because we learned about Coco in this course, and it's honestly one of my favorite things I learned about in this course, just because I found it very interesting and endearing how Coco learned sign language. That was really impressive. But some animals like chimps and dolphins can't communicate in smart ways, but and yeah, of course, chimps can even learn sign languages or symbols, but they can't use full grammar, of course. And that just shows human language is way more advanced, and we can talk about the past, the future, our thoughts, our emotions, and it just shows how unique and strong the human language is. And we're just a different type of animal. We're very smart. So no, we cannot talk like us, of course, but it's still very impressive what some animals use as communication. How language is learned and shared. Um, Humans don't need directly to be taught language. Babies learn it by listening. This is called the cultural transmission. We pass language down through generations, and language helps keep traditions, cultures, and communities alive. And it's a big part of what makes us human. Um, yeah, everyone, like for example, I'm bilingual. I was taught Spanish first, but I was raised in America, so English is my second language because I was taught what my parents speak. So I just wanted to give an example. What I learned what I learned from this project is that I learned that the brain and language evolved together to help us survive. Language made it easier to connect, share, and grow, and our brains developed special areas just for speech and understanding, and it also helped me see how biology, psychology, anthropology, and culture are all linked. Why I chose this topic? I chose this topic because I've always been interested in psychology and how people communicate. Learning about brain growth and language development showed me how deeply connected they are. I also realized how important language is for emotions, learning, and expressing who we are, and that's something I honestly am going to remember after this class. Like I think I mentioned earlier, I'm a psychology major, and um, I really wanted to choose a topic that could have gone hand in hand. This class was a requirement for psychology, and I was really interested, especially in the first course, first week materials. I found a lot. I read a lot, and it really went similar to some things in psychology, and I found that very interesting. And I wanted to do a topic that could have, I guess, talked about both. Um, so yeah, that's my explanation. And sorry, this is a little too long. I just wanted to explain it. It definitely could have been longer, so I try to cut it down as much as possible. Thank you.